Why does starting over scare us the most than staying stuck? Let's have that conversation real quick. What's up, Push Army? What's up, YouTube? I'm Ben Alpha, and welcome back to Push Chronicles. Today is another episode, and we are going to be talking about the courage to begin again. Now, back to the question: why does starting over scare us the most than staying stuck? Now, that question seems really deep because, as real as it is, that question is one of the things that we go through in our day to day life, in our push journey. And why is that? Because being stuck sometimes, no matter the pain that comes with it, it looks familiar, it looks like a routine. We know the routine, we know the pains, we know how it feels. So it is something that has become normal to us in our day-to-day life that we find being stuck comfortable than starting over. But when you want to talk about starting again, that's different. It sounds really different. It sounds like vulnerability. Starting over, starting again is letting go of what didn't work and moving forward into a future that hasn't even shown you anything yet. It is slow, it is quiet, and in a world where everyone is moving so fast, starting over can feel like you have failed. But the truth here is, starting over is one of the bravest things that you will ever do for yourself. Now, let me keep it real with you guys. I used to work in a club where I was close to the accountant. I was managing some records at that point. I also worked in a farm, an egg farm. I don't know if I got the name right, but then, I used to work outside of my house, for people. And when I was doing that work at those times, at some point, I figured out that this is not for me. I don't want to keep doing this for the longest of time. And I had my challenges. At some point, I couldn't hold it up to here, and I quit the job when I was at the club. Actually, I quit the job. I quit the job when I really needed the job the most. But then my fear at that point was, what is going to happen when I quit this job? I was thinking about that, but I wasn't looking at myself. I wasn't conscious of myself. I'm not telling you to quit your job. I'm just using it as an example. So I wasn't really happy with myself at that point, and I wasn't happy with the treatment I was getting from the person I was working with. So it is something that was draining me and draining me. So I was having this fear of starting over. But then there is also me being stuck at the same time. So it is these two things in one. I was having a fear of starting over. When I quit this job, where else am I going to go to? Where will I apply for job? There is no job here. I will be stuck for a very long time, finding job and finding job that will pay me more. It is very impossible to find the area that I'm in. So I was having that fear. But then there was a fear of starting over. There was also a fear of being stuck here, that I'm not getting a good treatment. But I quit the job. Finally, I quit the job. I summoned the courage to quit the job. I conquered the fear and I quit the job. And it turned out that me quitting the job gave me the energy, gave me the boost to get a better job, to look for a better job, to put myself in a better place of value, that I will get, a better job that suits what I want and helps me to get to where I want to. And you get to realize that at this point, it is scary, it is lonely. You won't have a clue of where you are going to most of the times. I'm telling you, you might have the same experience, but I'm telling you that is how it feels. And at that point, I started realizing that the small step counts, even though it is not more, it is not what you want at that point. But as long as you're making small steps, as long as I was making small steps, it meant that I was moving somewhere. So when I quit that job, I started making my steps, I started building my value, and at some point I got what I wanted. And I'm still moving at it. I'm not even done yet. So what am I trying to say? Small step counts, even though you don't know where you are going to, it means that you are still moving. And sometimes that is all you need. Now, during these times, let us talk about what nobody sees. Not the people around you, but inside your head. That little voice saying, you are not going further, you are failing, you are stuck, you're not doing things right, you're not doing, you're going to fail. you are making the wrong move. It is normal. It comes. I still get them. Most people that you think they are going somewhere in life with what they are doing, they still get them. Everybody, as long as you are human, you will get all these little voices at the point where you are trying to know your path between staying stuck or starting over. The doubt, it is normal. The fear, it is expected. And the confusion, that is part of it. And one thing I want you to know is you are not weak for feeling all these things. You are not broken. You are just human. And because you are human, you will feel a lot of things as you go on in this push journey. So let me tell you, people think that sometimes growth comes with, fireworks that tells you, boom, you have made it. They think whenever there is a result, it means that there is growth. Whenever you're seeing there is some result, it means there is growth. But sometimes growth is doing your thing, even when nobody notices it. It is waking up, it is showing up, no applause, no validation from anybody. Now, how long did it take me before I saw all this growth? It took me months. It took me a lot of times. It took me tears. It took me sleepless nights. Man, when I quit that job, I was out of job for a very long time. I didn't know what to do. I was a confused teenager at that point because, yeah, I started working very early. And yeah, so I was confused at that point. I had a lot of doubts. I cried a lot of times. I wanted to put my hand in a lot of things. I was so confused. So did it take time? Yes, it took time. It will take time. At that point, even though I was very positive with myself, but my head was still flying. I didn't really know what I was doing at that point. But what I know is that I didn't want to continue with what does not take care of me at that point. Even though it was answering the monetary needs, but it was not answering the other needs. It was messing with me totally, and I didn't want to put up with that. So did it take months? Did it take years before I saw difference? Yes, it did. It took a lot of time after I took my step before I saw difference. But that was the growth. And at some point, the signs started coming out. I started seeing that yes, I didn't break at this point. Look, I didn't panic like I used to. I didn't lose myself like I used to. I started growing mentally. I started growing. I started getting stronger. I started knowing what I wanted. I started pushing myself. I am still pushing myself. And that is how this growth thing works. And believe me, that is more than enough. So maybe you're starting over after a heartbreak. You are leaving a toxic job. You are leaving a toxic cycle. You're leaving a toxic friendship. You're leaving whatever doesn't work well for you. Maybe you're trying to rebuild your confidence. Maybe you're trying to rebuild your peace, your faith, whatever it is that you're trying to start over again. Or maybe you are like me, who has had, similar experiences in one way or another. I just want you to know this. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not weak. Starting over is necessary, even at that point where you are afraid that you might stay stuck forever. It is better to start over when something is not working for you, when you have seen, don't you have seen that this thing is not working for you. Not just stay there and be killing yourself because you want to really make it work. By then you will lose your self-esteem, you will lose your integrity, you will lose your life at the process, you will even lose yourself mentally otherwise. So this is growth calling on you right now. I'm telling you that you are not weak for you to want to start over. You are not broken. You are not stupid. You are not all of this. You are brave and you are not alone. And this right here is the truth that I want to share with you today. This is the courage to begin again. So if this spoke something in you, I want you to type I am beginning again in the comment section. Like this video. Let us build a space where people that are starting over don't feel ashamed. They feel heard and they feel seen. And share it with somebody who you think and who you know that is stuck in their silent season. Let us build a community. Let us grow and grow better. So I am Ben Alpha. Till we meet again, this is Push Chronicles. Keep pushing. Hit the subscribe button. Let us make this space better for you and I. Till next time. Bye.